If you had a loaded weapon, you wouldn't fire it randomly into the street because you understand one thing. Power without control leads to destruction. Sex is no different. And this is where most men completely lose the plot. You think becoming attractive, getting attention, having options is the end goal. It's not. It's the beginning of your responsibility. Riddle me this. If women suddenly started chasing you at a high level, would you have the discipline to choose correctly? Or would you just take what's easy? Because this is where men sabotage their entire legacy. Look at Mike Tyson. At the height of his dominance, young, rich, feared, he had access to anything. But what did he say to himself? That lifestyle, the woman, the constant indulgence, it drained him. It distracted him. It pulled him away from his discipline. And then his focus slipped. His structure collapsed. Power without control. Again, what should have been the greatest boxer ever faded from his heights. Now understand this clearly. As you rise, as your money improves, as your status grows, women will come. Not just a few, a lot. And most of them are not built for your future. They're built for your distraction. No one wants to talk about this. Sleeping with anything that looks good comes with consequences. First, you risk creating life with someone you don't respect. And let's be real. How does a child thrive in that environment? No alignment, no respect, no structure. You've just created chaos that lasts decades. Second, health risks. This isn't theory, it's reality. You expose yourself to infections, complications, long-term damage, all because you lack the discipline for a moment. Third, and it's the one where most men ignore, energy depletion. Look at Muhammad Ali. Before major fights, he was known for strict discipline, control, focus, restraint. Because he understood something most men today don't. Your energy is finite. Where you put it determines who you become. Your semen is your life force. That's your life energy. You can't just be wasting that. So flip that. If you're constantly chasing women, constantly indulging, constantly releasing, what happens? Your focus drops, your drive weakens, your edge disappears. And here's the dangerous part. You won't even notice it happening. So let me challenge you. Have you ever seen a man at his absolute peak who is constantly distracted by women? No. Because it doesn't exist. Now we go deeper. This is psychological conditioning. If you surround yourself with low quality women, if your environment is filled with party girls, validation seekers, attention driven behavior, that becomes your normal. Look at John Zerko. Constant exposure to OnlyFans models, e-girls and that environment. Over time, what happens? It normalizes. What once was clearly not long-term material starts to feel acceptable. And here's the trap. As a man, you will always have a deep desire for partnership, for legacy, for family. So if your environment is corrupted, your standards become corrupted, and eventually you choose wrong. Now you're building a future with someone you were only supposed to experience temporarily. That's not just a mistake. That's a life sentence. So understand the real message here. This isn't about avoiding women. This is about selectivity. Because a king doesn't lack options. He controls them. He doesn't move off of impulse. He moves with intention. And most importantly, he understands that access is a test. The more access you have, the more discipline you need. So I'll leave you with this. As you level up, as your life improves, as more women enter your reality, will you become a slave to your desires or a man who controls them? Because the game isn't just getting women. It's building yourself, protecting your energy and choosing wisely. Because one wrong decision in this area doesn't cost you a night. It can cost you your future. Do not be deceived.